Yes, guys. Hello, everybody that is tuning in for another episode of Chelsea Perspective, late night Chelsea, as I am calling it tonight, because it is 11:36 at UK time. So a late one for me. I've just come back from cinema, watching a nice film, relaxing after what has been an absolute crazy 24 hours for Chelsea Football Club. Wow. Never a boring, never a dull day at this football club. Before we get into the news, let's check out the comments before we start. Big up Jar Jar Jones. Do Osimhen come to Chelsea? You've repeated it again. That's fine. I'll answer your question. I think the fact that Samu isn't come in, and if anyone's missed the last 24 hours, Samu Omorodion is not coming in now. I finally actually able to pronounce the name, and now he's not coming. Thank you, Chelsea. But since he's not coming in, and Felix, who we could now be getting instead, he's not really a out-and-out striker. I do feel that that makes Osimhen a little bit more likely, even though it looks like we're going to have to pay more for Felix than we would have for Omorodion. But it's a complicated deal, and it's not going to happen anytime soon, and probably will be in the last days of the window itself. Big up to Footlol. Chelsea will make an offer for JoaonFelix tomorrow. If there is no agreement with Chelsea, Gallagher will return. I think the Gallagher transfer will go through. We've heard that the Alvarez transfer is going to go through. There was talks that Bayer Leverkusen were interested in Samu Omorodion, so that itself might be enough to allow the Gallagher deal to go through anyway. Also, but I can understand that it's weird with the Gallagher one, because there's some stuff been done. I don't know if any contracts have been signed, but I don't know whether Atletico Madrid can just back out. I don't. We'll see. It's all a very confusing story because we're not getting any sort of information really. It's a very confusing one. No one seems to have a clear picture, and the main guys, they're not withholding information, I think. Cooley Nathan, big up to you. Felix over Madrid any day. I don't think either of them are that impressive, I guess. But it is what it is. Big up to the 57 people that are currently tuning in. Now it's up to 58. It keeps going up. Keep smashing the like button. The more likes we get on this channel, the more people will be interacting and therefore commenting, and we can have a very good stream. So everyone smash the like button. It's free. It takes 1 second. You don't need to do anything apart from one click. So please click it, and it will make it a lovely, enjoyable streams. Obviously, I'll be going through some of the transfer news now, but put your comments in, and I'll try and answer as many questions as possible. Remember, guys, no profanity, no over-hating of players. Just let's have a nice stream and talk about the news. So let's go through some of the mediocre confirmed stories before we go into the big juicy bits. I will keep you guys waiting for a little bit longer. So Caleb Wiley has made his move to Strasbourg on loan. Obviously, when we signed him originally, we knew that was a likely deal to happen. And now that pre-season has concluded, he has travelled to Strasbourg to continue his pre-season over there. Bit of a boring one, and one that we all expected, so nothing to say extra on that. However, Strasbourg have signed, or look to be signing, another player, and it's a permanent deal, and it's a Chelsea player, and that player is Diego Moreira. Signed on a free last summer for Chelsea, went on loan to Lyon, which I thought was a very weird loan move. I thought it was a bit higher for what he was, but he was highly touted. Lyon did absolutely terrible. He didn't get any game time, come back to Chelsea and played in the development squad for the rest of the season. So I think it was very messed up. For me, I think this is Chelsea's way of keeping him in the system without taking up one of them international loan spots. Remember, we can only loan out 7 players at a time. He looks like he will be signing to Strasbourg on a €2 million deal. So technically, we're getting money back. Any money back we spent on wages in the last year, we will get more. So there is profit in the deal, considering we got him on a 3-year contract as it was anyway. Obviously, there is compensation fees with Porto because he's obviously an under 23. But likely we are in the green on that. So, and what I do see is that he has a buyback clause. So if he does really well at Strasbourg, potentially Chelsea can bring him back. And that is the point of, I think, the point of these multi-club models is players that are good but not necessarily good enough will play in the second teams. Obviously, Strasbourg is one, but we may, I think, eventually once Chelsea settles down, there will be more multi-club models bought, potentially Brazilian clubs. I'd like to see us get a Belgian club because that's a league where you can develop players very well. And I think there are many clubs there that could want and need investment. But yeah, I think there could be potentially a sell-on clause that we're not being told about as well, should he be sold on to someone else. So I think it's a good deal for Moreira to get game time. Any other deals before I go on to the usual one? Juventus have contacted Chelsea to try and understand the conditions. That's what it's been told, to get a loan move for Raheem Sterling. There isn't any ideas on whether it is an option to buy included or an obligation to buy, but it could well be one of them, or it could be just a straight loan. However, Sterling's high wage is a big obstacle for the Italian club, who can't afford the wages. So there may be some negotiations that may need to be done for that, and therefore they may not be able to afford taking permanently. Either way, I think with this, it is probably a good move either way. Sterling's still got 3 years on his deal, so even if he comes back, there's still 2 years left, and potentially we could still sell him on at that point. If he plays well at Juventus, that might help raise the price tag, and more likely someone will be able to buy him off us. If he doesn't, then we get him back next season and we just try to sell him on for whatever we've got. But I think getting them wages off the bill would be good and would certainly help help us to get said Osimhen deal through, because there is less wages and less costs on the wage bill for us, and that will help PSR in that respect. Big up to Sean Inferno. Big up to the host. What happened to Coach Coachella is on holiday. Yes, guys, he took the absolute worst week possible in terms of Chelsea news to go on holiday. But thankfully, yours truly, Matt, is back and here for the rescue, because I don't know this would have been a very terrible week to miss out on transfer news and for you guys not to hear opinions. I don't think I am as good of a replacement. You guys can tell me that whether I am or not. But it's been enjoyable. It's been an enjoyable 5 or 6 days. And we've got a couple more days to go before the mighty Coachella is back. And you never know, you might see me on the channel a little bit more after. You never know. But big up Sean Inferno for the comment. And big up to the 121 people now watching. Slowly ticking up the likes. Keep them likes going up, and then we'll move on to the big news, which is that Samu Omorodion has fallen through. This happened late last night. It came through on, I don't know what the exact channel is, but it's the Tic Tac guy. So straight away I looked at it and thought, I'm not gonna believe it. I'm not gonna believe it. This is not a good source. Then Revelo came out with the source saying a similar sort of story, that it had fallen through. Again, I didn't believe it. It just seemed very strange. But more sources came out, and it looks like it is true. Samu Omorodion deal has completely fallen off the radar. We will not be signing him. Gallagher's deal is now in danger. Gallagher had interview tried to be done, and he blanked. He looked not happy with the situation, and is currently stuck in a hotel room waiting for the deal to be done. He's been in the hotel room for 5 days, probably not enjoying himself at the moment. And this is probably not what he wants. This is not what Chelsea want. This is not what Atletico Madrid want. The rumours is that João Felix is now back on the radar for Chelsea. Atletico wanting potentially 42 million for the player. Chelsea interested, talking currently to his agent, Jorge Mendes. João Felix is apparently happy to return to Chelsea. Atletico Madrid are annoyed with Chelsea, and there is high tensions as described by some journalists, but ultimately Atletico Madrid would need the sale to be done in order to be able to afford the Alvarez deal that has now been done and the Gallagher deal on top. Chelsea obviously will want to have that Gallagher deal done, so then they can go and further do their own transfers. But guys, what do you think about João Felix replacing Samu Omorodion? Make sure you put it down in the comments. What do you think? Do you think this is a good deal? A lot of people love Felix. A lot of people do not like Felix. He is a very Marmite player in that respect. I find it very confusing. Last night I was, let's just say, not a happy bunny. Not a happy bunny at all. A bit fuming. Probably apart from Poch being sacked or Lampard being appointed for the second time, I've never been so fuming. I'm a bit too. So basically, the manager sackings, this is probably the worst I felt about this club, the structure, and the owners. I was literally fuming with the owners of what's happened. Obviously, this is fueled by the fact that we don't know why this deal's fallen through. Some people have said it's a failed medical. Some people said that he's passed his medical. There's now a story going out that we want to have 50% of the player's images rights, and that was rejected. And the player said that was disrespectful, blah, 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 and that's how the deal's fallen through. I think it's a mixture of all of them, because usually deals this far do not fall through. And when they do, this is usually because of medicals. Now, I will say, as the disclaimer, I have no knowledge of what's going on. This is just me theoretically theorizing the situation. I think that something has gone on in the medical, because it seemed like he had the medical, obviously, after the Olympic final, which was the plan. I think there is something in the medical that Chelsea weren't happy with, whether it's something to do with his knees, his back, whatever. Obviously, that means Chelsea could pull out of the deal entirely. What I think they've done is I think they've looked and said, well, we still would potentially like to sign you, but we don't want to sign you for as much as the original price, because it's the aspect of taking that risk that implies with the medical that potentially he has failed. So maybe, firstly, Chelsea might have gone to Atletico Madrid to ask for a price reduction. That might have not worked. Then Atletico might have said, no, the price is the price, take it or leave it, which I understand from Atletico's side. So I think maybe a creative way of sorting this out would be looking at the image rights of the player, and maybe the board have approached the player. Player's not happy with it, and the club have moved on. Is this good? It's not really great dealings. I understand all sides that Chelsea do not want to pay the money if there is a genuine concern with the medical and genuine concern with the player. But at the same time, the way they've gone about it and the way they've handled it is not very good, not very professional, and it runs a risk of breaking down relationships between clubs, players, and agents. Sorry. Sorry about that. Yes, so ruining them relationships is not good when it comes to future transfers. If there's future deals with Atletico Madrid, that might be hampered. The relationship might be strained. Not to mention that other clubs may look at us and not treat us in the same respect. Of course, money talks. So if someone needs to sell someone to us or buy someone, money's always going to talk. But I think the reputation in these sort of situations, if not handled correctly, can cause these problems. But it is what it is. I understand that a deal needs to be done, and JoaonFelix does make some sort of sense because we've had the player before. The owners seemed to be happy with the player before, and it was more a Pochettino thing where he didn't want him in the squad. But for me, the reason why I don't think it makes sense is because we've got Cole Palmer, we've got JoaonFelix is not a winger, an out-and-out wide player. So I feel like he's not really going to play in this system out on either side of the wings. And then when you look at the middle, you've got Nkunku, you've got Palmer, you've got Dewsbury Hall. It's a lot of people to compete with, and I don't think he's probably maybe better in Dewsbury Hall in an attacking way, but he's not better than Nkunku. He's not better than Palmer. And then again up front, I don't really think. I think Jackson is a great player, and it's probably better than him. If we get Osimhen in, again, it's better. So I just don't see the point of this signing. It's there's nothing in the squad that I look at and go. It just seems like a bit of a pointless signing. I understand that this player he is not a terrible player. I argue his final product is not good enough for what he was hyped up to be, but he is a very neat and tidy player. In certain circumstances, this could be good, but personally, I'm not too keen on the signing in general. But let me know, guys, what you guys think of the situation and of JoaonFelix coming to Chelsea. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think it was a foul medical? Do you think it's just based off the image rights? Do you think it's a bit of both? And finally, do you think Conor Gallagher's deal will go through or not go through? Let's have a look at the comment section. Lucky Singh, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, you enjoy Mohamed Kudus, Bowen, Edison. I guess you're on the wrong channel, mate. It's not West Ham or United stuff, but thank you for tuning in and smash the like button. And if you want to stay and talk about Chelsea stuff, more than happy to do that. So yeah, I mean, JoaonFelix. What are the positives of him? I mean, he's a very good dribbler in the aspects of he's very neat and tidy, can link up the play well. But I think we already have that in the squad in Nkunku. So the argument, he is quite versatile. Could be a positive. He could play anywhere really and fill in, but that's what I feel. He's a fill-in type player. The only good thing is he did take a wage cut, so he's not on these mega wages anymore. 115k salary, which potentially Chelsea could say and negotiate down maybe a little bit further if they wanted to. I doubt it because I think that's okay for Chelsea to cover. £42 million. I think it's a bit steep. I would try and bring it down to the similar amount that Omorodion was going for. But yeah, it's what it is. Maybe it's a thing that we bring JoaonFelix in. he does a good squad role, and then Chelsea will eventually look to maybe try and flip him on. But the problem is he's never settled anywhere. I mean, he was at Barcelona last year, and Barcelona chose not to sign him on. He's not really settled at Atletico Madrid. I mean, he was at Chelsea. He did okay in some games and didn't do okay in other games. And again, he's such a Marmite character. Some people really like him. Some people don't like him. And it's very confusing. He's a very confusing player. Comment saying from Twitter, big up to everyone that is listening on Twitter. You think we might sign him to flip him on? I just feel like eventually we would, just because it's such a strange transfer, and I don't think there's any real place for him in the squad, especially when you think that you, in a year's time, have Kenji Paez coming into the squad. You have Estavo, who again could be playing in this similar position, and off the right. So it doesn't really make sense. And that them positions are going to be very filled. I mean, they already thought that having Noni Madueke and Mudryk in the squad, I thought this season it was a final kind of, let's see what you've got, because if you're not good enough, we might sell you on next summer. So to add Felix into that, I think there's just a lot of players in that attacking area, and I don't know who we're going to get rid of. Maybe, obviously, Sterling looks like he could go now. So maybe it is a case of Sterling comes in, Mark Gee stays, Sterling goes, Felix comes in, and Jackson no longer will play as the backup striker. Now Samu isn't involved. But even then, I don't know. I don't know. It all feels strange. It doesn't make sense. I mean, if you look at the profile of Samu compared to Felix, it's not like they're similar profiles. You're signing a similar player. It just feels a very opportunistic signing, which for me, it just screams like a type of panic buy situation, a deal just to get the Gallagher deal through. As much as I think Chelsea want to sell Gallagher and all that, is it really worth it? Taking one person we don't want off the radar and then bringing a player that we don't really need. I don't know. This deal has me very confused. I'm not as angry as I was last night about the deal, but I still need taking convincing of why, whether we need why are we getting this player, whether we need this player. I don't know. It's very confusing, and it is what it is. As Lucky Singh has kind of said, strange Chelsea. Gallagher sell, Trevor Chalobah sell. Obviously, I think the both of them will eventually be sold. Get over with. I guess that mean get over it. I am over it. I'm happy for both to be sold. You don't need to tell me to get over it. I think other people maybe. Big up to Melina, who's joined the chat. Yeah, Melina's probably laughing at the state of Chelsea right now. But it is what it is. And big up Nightbot, saying hello to Melina as well. Big up to all of you 158 people in the chat. Come on, smash the like button. I said Matt Ball Takeover, smash the like for me, smash the like for Chelsea Perspective, and smash the like if you, I don't know, smash the like button if you like JoaonFelix, smash the like button if you don't like JoaonFelix. That way we get everyone smashing the like button and not half of the chat. So big up to all of you watching, and keep getting your comments in, and we'll answer as many as possible. We might get a panelist come in, we might not. Obviously it's late, it's a last minute stream, so I'm not expecting anyone to come on, but anyone that wants to come on from the panel chat, let me know and join, and we'll talk about some stuff. So let's talk about, what can we talk about? We haven't been on since the intermatch, so let's talk about the intermatch, because I thought it was on the Saturday, and Saturday stream, late night stream, was technically, the title was the review, which wasn't possible since it was the day after. But there you go. That's me making mistakes. But we didn't lose. And actually, I thought generally overall, we played very well on the ball. Still some work off the ball that needs to be done, but I think it's getting there a little bit more. We made less mistakes and we were a bit more dominant on the ball, especially that first half. Inter had one chance and unfortunately scored it because of terrible defending. But I thought we had some good chances. There was particularly a chance, it was really unlucky of Mark Uwe, who done really well to press Jan Sommer and nick the ball off him. Unfortunately, it clipped his heel and he's gone over and fallen over, and Jan Sommer was lucky then for collect the ball rather than having a comedy own goal for the highlight reels. But yeah, we had good chances and we nearly scored some. Maybe some better strikers, better players would have done better. I think Noni Madueke had a good game. Mudryk was very quiet for me. But when he got the ball, he did better with it. There was some good work with some of the players, but there was a few players were losing the ball, maybe a bit too much. But the goal itself, very bad defending from arguably both players. Fofana, I can understand his mistake. I think it was the correct decision to come out and try and meet the player and try and make the tackle and step forward. But unfortunately, when you are John Hand has said it massively. 11 likes. Come on, guys. We've got 171 people here. 172 now. You can do better than 11 likes. Come on, smash the like button, please, for everyone. If we smash the like button, get more people in, and we can have a wonderful conversation. If you are on Twitter watching this, feel free. You can head over to the YouTube, Chelsea Perspective, subscribe, helps us out as well, and then you can smash the like button. Or if you are on Twitter, share it out and try and get as many people watching. Big up CFC Garvin for joining us. Big up to you guys. If you have any other questions, we'll answer it. But back onto the defending, as I was saying about Fofana, correct decision. But when you're out for 12 months, your timing is off, and it takes you a lot more time to get back into your best. And unfortunately, he was just a second off and made the decision far too late and got past. But Colwell has not got that excuse and looked like someone who was confused. He looked drunk. He looked confused. And just simply, he's a defender who's very good on the ball. He's a very good player. He's a very good passer. He's got some nice fancy touches at the back. But your job is to defend, bro. And he doesn't defend very well at all. And that's why, there's a lot of people that have slagged off Badia Shil on this channel, and rightly so. He's made some mistakes, but I think he's better than Colwell at the moment, and really needs to. I don't think I could start Colwell against City. I think I would have to start reluctantly Badia Shil and probably Tosin, because I think Fofana isn't ready yet. It will take him time to get back, so I'm going to give him that time to get his fitness back. I think he will eventually take that first choice slot on the right hand side, but it's going to take him some time to get into it. But let's see what else did we have. So that was half time. Unlucky to be 1-0 down. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it wasn't our complete first team out on the first half, and obviously we made changes in the second half. And Cuckoo with absolute wonderful overhead kick. The fact that João Sommer saved that was very annoying, because that would have been a fantastic goal to see. What a player he is, and he's got that something special, hasn't he? To do something like that, even in the pre-season match, phenomenal. Unlucky to get the goal, and eventually the goal came very late, almost Fergie time, or maybe we call it Enzo time, potentially if we want to. But Leslie Ugochukwu having the best 7 minutes cameo in his life to get the goal. But, it is what it is. Didn't get the win, but we got a draw. And that isn't, the result doesn't matter at the end of the day. But but the performance was better. I think if we had maybe some of the second half players in the first half and playing the full game, players like Palmer, potentially players like Jackson, players like Nkuku, I think we might have beaten Inter Milan on the day. We would, I think, scored more chances and maybe got the win. But it is what it is. Obviously, we've got a whole week now, despite the transfer problems. We've got a whole week to prepare for Manchester City, who obviously played the Community Shield. They won on penalties. Didn't look fantastic. Neither did Man United, to be fair. But yeah, it could be a good result for us. It could be a good time to face Man City, but it is also a good time for Man City to face us. Nice question from, I don't even know what that is, a satellite from the guy on Twitter. Big up to you for asking a question. Guys, chop your comments in the comment section, and I will answer as many questions as you've got. Since we haven't got any panelists at the moment, I am all ears to all your questions as long as they are sensible. So where do you see us finishing this season then? Well, it's hard to predict, of course, because it depends how good and not good we do in this first period of time. I think, before pre-season started, my prediction was that we will finish 5th place. Hopefully that's Champions League. If it's not, Europa League. I do also think we will go on to win the Conference League anyway, so I think we will have Europa League football next season. And maybe if we all do well in the Champions League in terms of English clubs, we might get that 5th place spot in the Champions League and be back to the big time competition. Lucky Singh saying we will get top 3. I don't think we're there yet. I think if we were completely settled in the system already, then I could understand potentially talking about top 3. But I think where we're going to potentially have a tough first few months, just not getting as many results as we'd want. And I think we'll be on a bit of a catch up. I don't think we will quite be top 3. I think we'll be top 5. I think the thing is, you've got Manchester City and Arsenal, who will run away with this league a little bit. And I think you've got Liverpool, who haven't really signed anyone. They've got a new manager, who I don't think is going to be as good as Klopp. And obviously, he's going to take time to get used to the league. There's not a big success rate with Eredivisie players or managers. So it'll be interesting to see how he does. And will Liverpool be as successful this season? I don't know how Tottenham will do in their second season. Have people figured out Ange Postecoglou? How well will they do? I don't know. That's the question marks. I'm not inspired by some of the United signings. I think obviously they've got a lot of injury problems already. Their big Lenny Yoro's injured all for 3 months, so that's not good. And then you've got they've got De Ligt. I don't really rate De Ligt at all. And then they've got that right back from Bayern Munich. I don't know. Xerxes okay, but I think is Xerxes injured as well? I'm not sure. They're a bit of a mess on the United, so I don't think they're going to be anywhere at the moment. Aston Villa, it depends on how they get on with the Champions League schedule. I think obviously you saw Newcastle struggled with it last season, and I think Newcastle will be, if they can get Mark Gay in, I think they'll be back towards the Champions League spot. So I think it's going to be very close between 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. And I think we will do okay. I think we will push back after maybe a bit of a poor start and get into them positions. So let's see what some of you guys think. So John Hands asked, do you think we can get top 4 by the end of the season? As I think we'll finish 5th, we'll just miss out top 4, but hopefully we will have that Champions League spot from the 5th place. CFC Gavin Sinks will finish 3rd, I think. And Satellite from Twitter, I'm just going to call you that. Says Gallagher coming back to London on Tuesday, says Fabrizio Romano. I'm just going to double check that to see if that is correct. I trust you. I am going to trust you that is correct, but I'm also just going to double check because don't have anything else to do. Yes, so Fabrizio has confirmed exclusive Chelsea request Conor Gallagher to return on Tuesday, set to book flight. Chelsea see all deals as separate. Felix to offer to Chelsea on Sunday. Door remains open for Gallagher to join Atletico after medical done, up to all parties. So I think Chelsea are just requesting Conor Gallagher back, just in case the deal doesn't run through. But it's a thing that as soon as it goes back online, Gallagher can go back out there and get the rest of the deal done. I mean, to be fair, medical is done, so he can do all the stuff back in London. And Atletico Madrid could easily get representatives over here, since that we're going to be discussing Felix, and get the signature stuff done in London. I think for Gallagher, it's probably better for him as well. It means he can be at home rather than in a hotel room, and could be maybe in a bit more relaxing situation, because being stuck in a hotel room for days on end is not very good. But we'll see if we are going to go for Osimhen. Obviously, it's interesting that Chelsea have requested him to come back, suggesting that could that be a suggestion that deal is falling through and it's not going to happen. I'd suggest that Fabrizio would have let us know if that was the case, but we'll have to wait and see. But that is the breaking news from the last few minutes, that Conor Gallagher will be returning to London tomorrow. Flights have been booked, and he might still be at Chelsea. He might not. We will wait and see. So Lucky Singh says, we will sort out goals, Manchester United. I don't know if you're a Man United fan or... oh yeah, you are a United fan. We will sort out... Will you? I mean, Højlund is okay. Xerxes is okay. I saw Xerxes in the Belgian league for Anderlecht, and he was okay, but nothing special. I'm not sure. I still think United need some more signings. I'm not convinced by De Ligt. I don't know much about the right back Bayern Munich either. And Lenioro has obviously got injured. And I think you're like us in terms of injuries. And obviously Chelsea have been lucky enough to not get any injuries in pre-season, bar Reece James's hamstring. But yeah, there are injuries with Luke Shaw, there's injuries with Lenioro, there's other injuries with Rashford. So I think United are still struggling with them injuries, and I think as long as you do, you're not going to be that successful, and you're going to struggle. But we'll see. I could be completely wrong. Manchester United could really do, and I'll have egg in my face. And I'm sure if that happens, Lucky Singh will come back to this channel and definitely let me go. Satellite, be honest, are you locally glad the Omorodion deal fell through? Felt like we didn't need it. I mean, I'm not sad or I'm not disappointed. I'm not overly happy. Like, it's a deal that, it's... Again, you said we didn't really need him, especially if Osimhen was going to come in anyway. It was more of a luxury signing than a signing that is a good player that could become something. Am I disappointed? Because I was interested to see how he would do. I think I liked him in the fact that he's a very tall player, potentially good in the air, and could be a good option to come off the bench for a plan B. But it's not happening, so it is what it is. I don't regret things for too long. It's done now. He's not going to come, and that's all we can do. We can't do anything else. I'm just going to get a bit more comfortable because it's 11:30. We can be a little bit more casual about this. Casually put my thumb all over the camera, which is good. But let's see what Lucky Singh is saying. Chelsea getting Osimhen, JoaonFelix. I guess that means Osimhen and JoaonFelix. Yep. So, Lucky Singh, we know the rumours. They're not done yet, any of these deals, but it looks like they will be the two likely deals that we get done. I would say also, considering the Sterling deal. Keep an eye out on Chiesa. We were linked to him at some point last week, and I wouldn't be surprised if that deal potentially comes into play. Should for some reason JoaonFelix not get signed, Gallagher doesn't go through, and the whole Atletico Madrid partnership just falls apart. Don't be surprised if we are still looking for a wide player for some reason. That Chiesa, sorry guys, is involved, but we don't know. That is just me throwing out someone. Big up to Siaka, South Africa, in the comment section. What a revelation! Samu Omorodion is no longer coming to Chelsea. JoaonFelix wants to. Yeah, mad stuff, Siaka. Mad stuff. Satellite says, surely transfer ban coming our way. Well, depends on if we've done anything wrong. I don't know. I don't know all of the little rules, but I am sure Chelsea wouldn't do anything particularly too dangerous in terms of jeopardising a transfer ban. Maybe we might need a ban with all the irresponsible deals that we're potentially doing, but that's a different question. I don't think we have broken any rules. I don't think. Sorry, guys, it's 12:15 right now, and I am quite tired. But this stream does carry on for at least a little bit longer. We'll go at least to an hour, and then maybe we will sign off after that if nothing else happens in the next few minutes. But yeah, we're not going to get transfer ban. I think that is just a bit of scaremongering from you, Satellite, which is not very good. We should be a bit more positive than that. Scaremongering solves absolutely nothing in this situation. Big up, we've got 194 people watching. It keeps bouncing up and down a little bit, but we've got a nice amount of people watching. Obviously, guys, smash the like button. Let's get us more likes so we can get some more people on the stream. My lighting has just gone very weird all of a sudden, but okay, it is what it is. Can't be asked to get up and change it. So if you guys are gonna have to put up with it, you can still see me. So that is the best. Satellite, you nearly made me check. Big up to IB. As Lucky Sing gets the likes up. Yeah, Satellite. You probably should have just said that ha later on. Actually let me check, but you know, nice try. You nearly got me. Nearly got me on that one. But any questions you want to put in the chat for the last few minutes, please put them down and we will answer them as much as possible. Happy to answer whether it's Matt, why are you such a twat, or whatever. Well, there are silly questions, but normally not many questions are silly questions. So please put whatever you want in the comment section as a question. Bedtime for me, bro. Have a good one. Yeah. I am tired as well, so I will be going to bed very soon. But I thought at least get an hour in for you guys. Lot football come though. I don't understand the comment, but thank you, Lucky Sing, for putting it in. I guess that's lots of football to go. Of course, season hasn't started yet, so plenty of football to go. J Show, big up for your comment. Do you think the sporting directors are getting it right? I do think the deals that we've done are better than if I look in comparison to the first summer when Bowley was doing it all himself and naturally was very chaotic and crazy. I do think sporting directors have got some very good deals. Seen deals like Malagusto, deals like Cole Palmer, deals like Romeo Lavia that, while it hasn't fully gone into fruition yet, I think we will show how potentially good them deals were. I still think the Sassy wasn't a bad signing. I still think Badiashile wasn't a bad signing. I think there's aspects that haven't gone right, but I think they will come right eventually. I think Caicedo was a very expensive deal. But I think the one thing that I think the Sporting Directors, maybe there are too many younger players going through, like the Andre Santos's, Diego Moreira's. Of course, some of them will work, some of them won't. It's just the nature of the game, and no Sporting Director ever gets everything right. But I think there needs to be a balance of getting young players, getting young players for the future, and getting players that are young and ready now or experienced. I don't think that balance is completely right, but I respect the Sporting Directors for doubling down and saying that this is going to work and persevering with it. However, if the results don't come through, for me, the manager should be looked at a lot less, and the Sporting Directors should be the ones that, if it doesn't work, should be getting the chop from the owners. I think it's up to the owners to make that clear for them, because they, transfer-wise, it is their project, less so the managers nowadays. Ivy says, if this Conor deal falls apart and we upset Atletico, this will be PSG. Atletico that the Sporting Directors ticked off. How soon will one of them get fired? As I said, I think when money talks, if deals need to go through, and a team really wants a player, deals will get done. It just obviously might not be as smooth because there will be some distrust between Sporting Directors and clubs. But there's clubs always doing silly and snarky stuff. There's been plenty of clubs that have had problems in the past, and things have been sorted out. An example would be Manchester United, Real Madrid, with De Gea, with the whole facts. Man United and Real Madrid still open to do deals with each other. So I don't think it's too important. I think it's just people get annoyed in the short term. Long term, I think it will be fine. Let's have a look. Like you said, Chelsea, lots of amazing young players, could be top three. Yes, we discussed that before. Siaka says, JoaonFelix is more experienced than Omorodion. He is a better option. Chelsea will have a good plan to bring quality players to enhance. I think Siaka, my problem is the position I expect João to play, which is probably attacking midfield. We already have Nkunku and Palmer, who are much better, and Dewsbury Hall, that is a different type of player also that plays there. So I think there's just a lot. I just don't really know where JoaonFelix is going to play. I don't think he's going to play out wide. I don't think he plays very well out wide. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see where he fits in if he comes. Jaso says, Gusto, Palmer, Lavia, Caicedo, Neto all wins. We agree. Is it that we just don't know the plan? Yeah, I think communication, maybe of this ownership and board and Sporting Directors, hasn't been the best, and maybe that could be improved. I think if there was more communication with the fans, obviously the caveat is they don't need to do that. It's up that they don't. It's not their job to give us communication, but I'd argue better communication helps with a bit more understanding, I think, with context and an idea of what actually the plan is in full. Obviously, you don't want to go too much because obviously that gives away to other clubs, but giving the fans a bit more information, I think, would bring a bit more consensus and an idea of where we're going and what we're doing, what are the targets, etc. And I think some fans would be more on board potentially with that information. But again, we're going to have to wait and see what we do in terms of that information. Guys, a few more minutes, put down your questions, and then we will finish up and wrap this up. Jay Show, exactly why do we need more communication? we get to sit back and enjoy the. Sometimes more communication helps. It cools down situations. I think there's people that are very angry with certain decisions, and certain decisions with context look like a good decision, but without context don't look as good. So I think communication in certain areas is very key to ensure that all sides have the right context and then can move forward. Of course, again, it's not necessarily needed. They can still move forward without communicating to the fans. At the end of the day, they own the club, so they don't need to communicate to us because we don't own any of the club. But it would just be nice to know certain stuff and get a bit more transparency with the club. But again, you don't need to. It's an option. We have a really good team. Is it not disrespectful to interrupt the chef whilst he prepares a full meal? When you say chef, you mean the sporting directors or the manager? Manager, yeah, I fully agree. I like to give time to managers. I don't really think Enzo Maresca is the greatest manager in the world. I didn't really want him to come in, but now he's come in. I want to give him the suitable time to, at a minimum, make his own mistakes and not prove me wrong. But I'd like him to prove me wrong, preferably, and show me what he is about. If you do mean the short and sporting directors, I do think I understand. But if we know, again, this comes down to communication. If we knew what the end goal is and when we expect the end goal, then we could give the correct time. But I think this is, for me, the season where we need to start seeing a bit more results and a bit more progress. And I think if we don't see that, then that's where I think the sporting directors need to be questioned. And again, if we had that communication, we'd know. I'm thinking the full team. Well, teams are going to change no matter what. Players are going to go, players are going to come in. Things are going to be interrupted. It's just you need to have a stable environment, which I think is hard when you've got so many players in the books. But I do think while it is chaotic, I think we do deal with it as best as we can. Like you're saying, owners of Chelsea made it clear to sign players aged 24 or lower. Yes, I think that is the case, but there has been players signed 25. Tosin was 26, so it's not a mandatory thing. I think that's what we've had from the owners, but again, that's some sort of information, but it's not enough. I'm talking about a bit more details. That's very just basic information, and that might not even be true. That's what a journalist said, and obviously it happens that we are signing young players, but we've also signed a couple of players over that price, so over that age. So it might just be a coincidence that we're just signing young players, and it happens to be under the age of 24. Ivy, it's funny we keep saying we want to see player progress, yet Noni making lots of progress, yet he's available to be sold. I don't think Noni is available to be sold. I think every player has their price, that if a club comes in and pays that price, the club will let him go. Nearly, unless you're Cole Palmer, unless you're maybe Nkuku, every player will have their price, that if someone's stupid enough to come in and make that fee, then they will buy it. I think the problem is no one wants to come in from Madrid. That's why he's potentially safe. Preferably, I'd send Madrid out on loan to get some game time to see if we can make some progress for him. But I agree. I'd like to keep Noni together. I'd like to have Noni here and see how he does till the end of the season. I do think Noni may go at the end of next season because he was brought in fairly cheap, and I think he would be someone that, again, you could flip, say get 40, 50 million and then invest that into potentially a very good player to improve the team even more. But I wouldn't sell him right now unless we get 40, 45, 50, a very good chunk of money for him. Let's have a look. So Joe Show said, they told us early and sold the project to the players as a 1-2 year process. Enzo told us that this is right in that time frame. So allow the chefs, management team owners to cook. Yep, I mean, I would give them the season at least. unless anything disastrous happens, i.e. not being in Europe at all, I would give him potentially the start of next season. But eventually we do need to get to Champions League football. It is important. Otherwise, financially, we're not going to be able to keep up with the PSR, and we're going to run into trouble, and we're really going to have to sell some good players to sort that out. Lucky seeing you getting players. Brazil 18. Yep, we have that. I don't think there's many 18-year-olds left. Oh, you mean Starvio? Yeah, that will come in the summer along with Paris. J Show, good chat, bruv. I appreciate the convo. Please catch some sleep. Thank you. Well, that is true. I will be heading out now in the next few minutes because it has been an hour or 5 minutes since we've come on. It is 12:31, and as I said, getting a little bit tired. But thank you all for tuning in. We've currently got 208 people in the chat right now. Thank you for all of you joining and listening to my mumbo jumbo for the last hour. Tired Matt, but a good Matt. Tomorrow we will be back on. Hopefully we'll have some more news regarding JoaonFelix, Romelu Lukaku, Conor Gallagher, as well as potentially some more outgoings that might be rumoured and confirmed by then. So make sure you stay tuned. I will probably organise it now, probably 6 o'clock, bang on UK time tomorrow. So people, make sure you tune in. Turn the subscribers on, turn the notification bell so you get notified every time we start a stream, which is the best way to ensure that you do not miss any episodes at all. This is Matt signing out. Few more days till Coachella is back, but for now you get to see this beautiful face and maybe not so beautiful opinions. It's up to you guys. Big up to all of you, and thank you for coming on for another episode of Chelsea Perspective.